You've spent decades building your retirement nest egg, and now that it's finally time to use it, the IRS is stepping in with something called required minimum distributions. And suddenly, you're being told when and how to spend your own money. For many retirees, that moment sparks panic, taxes, timing, penalties, and confusion over what to do next. But here's the part most people never learn. RMDs are not something to fear. They're something you can plan around and even use to strengthen your entire retirement income strategy. In this video, I'll show you exactly how retirees stop panicking about RMDs once they understand what's really going on behind the rules and how to turn those required withdrawals into a predictable, tax-smart part of your retirement plan. Let's start with where all of this unnecessary stress really comes from. Many retirees freeze up when they hear the letters RMD. And again, that stands for Required Minimum Distributions. And it triggers a kind of a panic. You may imagine forced withdrawals, big tax bills, and running out of money too soon. Surveys confirm how widespread this fear really is. A recent study from Plan Advisor found that only about 1 in 5 retirees feel confident about drawing down their retirement assets, while 2/3 admit that they're taking RMDs simply because they feel that they have to. And why does this matter? Well, because fear causes poor financial decisions. Retirees who panic often hoard cash, delay important spending, or withdraw from the wrong accounts at the wrong time. Financial media has fueled this anxiety for years. As Kiplinger put it in a 2023 article, RMDs can be frighteningly large, 100% taxable, and can dwarf Social Security income. When fear drives decisions, you end up reacting to IRS rules instead of designing a retirement income plan that supports your lifestyle. That's when your portfolio income needs or your PIN can drift off course. So how do we calm that fear? By understanding what RMDs actually are and how to use timing them to your advantage. Most retirees think of required minimum distributions as a kind of a tax punishment, something the government forces on them after years of saving and doing everything right. But that's not what RMDs are. They're not penalties. They're simply timing rules. It's the IRS's way of determining when it's time for you to begin withdrawing money that has not been taxed yet. When you contributed to your traditional retirement accounts, whether it be a 401k, an IRA, or a 403b, you received a tax deduction up front. And those contributions and their growth have never been taxed. RMDs are the mechanism that the IRS uses to say, it's time for our share. And understanding that distinction is powerful because it changes how to think about these withdrawals. They're not an enemy. They're part of the tax-deferred agreement that you made when you started saving all those years ago. The age when your RMDs begin now depends on your birth year. So if you were born between 1951 and 1959, your RMDs begin at age 73. If you were born in 1960 or later, your RMDs begin at age 75. And if you were born before 1950 and you're watching this video, you are already of RMD age and you should have started your withdrawal strategies already, hopefully. Yet, many retirees, they still rush to take withdrawals earlier than necessary, often out of fear, and in doing so, they miss years of opportunity for strategic planning. When you view RMDs as the IRS taking your money, it naturally creates stress and leads to reactionary choices, like pulling funds too soon or moving assets too quickly in an effort to avoid taxes. But when you start to see RMDs for what they truly are, just calendar-based rules, you can begin to plan around them with precision. So how do you turn that understanding into a plan? Start by identifying your RMD age based on your birth year. Then use the IRS Uniform Lifetime Table, which lists the life expectancy factors that are used to calculate how much must be withdrawn each year. For example, at age 73, the current factor is 26.5. Divide your projected account balance by that number to estimate your first required minimum distribution amount. Now, it's important to remember here that this is just a projection, right? You won't know your exact balance until the future. And if you start taking withdrawals from those tax-deferred accounts before RMD age, whether it be for income, Roth conversions, or just portfolio rebalancing, that will reduce your balance and therefore lower your future RMDs. But even a rough estimate here helps. It gives you a sense of scale, right? How much income may be required and what the potential tax impact could look like. That knowledge puts you back in control. When you understand that RMDs are just timing rules and not traps, you can plan around them, coordinate your income, and reduce surprises before they happen. And once you understand that, you're ready for the next logical question. If RMDs are simply timing rules, how can you actually reduce their future impact? Let's discuss the Roth conversion strategy that reduces future RMD impact. Roth conversions are one of the most effective ways to take control of your future RMDs. A Roth conversion means transferring money from a tax-deferred account like a traditional IRA or 401k into a Roth IRA, where it can grow tax-free for the rest of your life. And here's why that matters. Traditional IRA money is tax-deferred, so it is taxed later and subject to RMDs. But a Roth IRA is money that is after tax, meaning you've already paid taxes on it, so it grows tax-free, and Roth IRAs are not subject to RMDs during your lifetime. So when done strategically, Roth conversions can help minimize your RMDs and reduce future tax exposure. According to Morningstar, households who use partial Roth conversions in their late 50s and 60s can reduce lifetime taxes by up to 20% compared to those who wait until their RMDs start. So how do you use this strategy effectively? Start by identifying your window of opportunity, the years between when you retire and when your first RMD will begin. For most people, that's somewhere between the ages of 60 and 72 or 74, depending on your birth year, right? These are often lower income years, which means lower tax brackets. During that window, consider converting a portion of your tax-deferred assets each year, but only up to the top of your current tax bracket. To know where that line is, you first need to know your portfolio income needs, how much your portfolio needs to generate each year to support your lifestyle, after considering Social Security and other guaranteed income. But once you calculate your PIN, you'll know how much income you'll need to withdraw each year. Combine that number with your deductions, and you'll have a good idea of your taxable income and your current tax bracket. That's the information you use to decide how much to convert without spilling into the next tax bracket. For example, if you're comfortably in the 22% bracket, you might convert up to the top of that range and stop there. Each conversion prepays taxes at a rate that you control today rather than at a potentially higher rate later when RMDs begin. It's also important to remember that each conversion has its own 5-year rule for tax-free earnings withdrawals, so this strategy works best when it's part of a coordinated multi-year plan. A Fidelity study in 2023 found that retirees who use annual planned conversions over a decade reduced their RMDs by more than 30%, effectively turning forced income into tax-free growth. Roth conversions aren't about avoiding taxes, they're about choosing when and how you pay them. And that's how retirees take something that they can't control, right? The rules around RMDs, and turn it into something that they can control, tax-efficient, purpose-driven income. So if conversions can help reduce future RMDs, the next question is how to manage the ones that are already required. Once your required minimum distributions begin, you can't avoid them, but you can manage how they impact your taxes. This is where tax bracket management becomes a key part of your plan. It's the process of coordinating withdrawals from different account types, tax-deferred, Roth, and taxable accounts, to keep your total taxable income within the most efficient range each year. When your RMDs start, whether that's at age 73 or 75, every dollar you withdraw from your traditional IRA or 401k, that counts as ordinary taxable income. If you're also collecting Social Security, pension benefits, or investment income, those RMDs can easily push you into a higher tax bracket. And that increase doesn't just mean more tax. It could also mean a larger percentage of your Social Security benefits are taxable, and even raise your Medicare premiums through IRMA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. According to the Center for Retirement Research at Boston College, retirees who actively manage their withdrawal order can reduce lifetime taxes and healthcare-related costs by up to 12 to 18%, simply by staying mindful of their bracket thresholds. So how do you apply this in your practice? Start by mapping out all your annual income sources, right? Your RMDs, Social Security, any pensions, dividends, interest, or part-time income. Add them up to see your total projected taxable income. Then look at the current IRS tax brackets for your filing status. For example, in 2025, the 22% bracket for married couples filing jointly is just over $206,000 of taxable income. If your total income is projected near $180,000, That means you have about $25,000 of room before reaching that next bracket. That gap is your tax planning opportunity zone. You might use it to take additional withdrawals, harvest gains or rebalance investments, or fund what is called a qualified charitable distribution directly from your IRA, which counts toward your RMD but avoids income tax altogether. Your portfolio income needs remains as the guidepost here, right? If your annual lifestyle needs are already met, you can use any excess RMDs strategically, again, to fund future tax bills, support charitable giving, or strengthen your long-term tax diversification. As Vanguard's 2023 retirement distribution study found, retirees who coordinate their withdrawals across tax brackets can extend portfolio longevity by up to 7 years compared to those who just withdraw reactively. And real quick, if you're over 50 and hoping to make life work optional in the next 5 to 10 years and you're not sure what bracket you're in or how to optimize your RMDs, click the link below and book some time to speak with us, and our team will help you understand your income, tax exposure, and potential RMD strategy in a complimentary conversation. Managing RMDs isn't about fighting the rules. It's about understanding how to work within them. And when you view your tax bracket as a tool instead of a trap, you can keep more of what you've earned and maintain greater control over your income. And when your income is coordinated, the next natural step is to link that strategy directly into your lifestyle spending plan. With the right planning, RMDs can become one of the most reliable cash flow coordination tools. By connecting your RMD schedule to your actual living expenses, you can transform those required withdrawals into a consistent, tax-efficient paycheck that funds your lifestyle on your terms. Unmanaged withdrawals often lead to inefficiency, and according to the Employee Benefit Research Institute, retirees who withdraw more than they need from tax-deferred accounts often reinvest those dollars into taxable accounts, which can create tax drag that reduces long-term value. On the other hand, retirees who align their RMDs with their portfolio income needs report greater confidence and fewer surprises at tax time. Here's how to put this coordination into practice. Start by listing your guaranteed income. Again, that's Social Security, any pensions, annuities, rental income, etc. And note when those payments arrive during the year. Then identify your remaining annual expenses that need to be covered by portfolio withdrawals. This is your PIN, your portfolio income needs. This is the portion that your investments need to supply. Now, match your RMD withdrawals to that gap. You can go monthly if you prefer a steady paycheck style of income, quarterly if you want flexibility for larger seasonal costs, or annually if your other income covers ongoing expenses and you'd rather just reinvest or redeploy funds later in the year. If your RMD is more than you need to spend, assign those dollars a purpose. You can reinvest in a tax-efficient brokerage account, use them to pay taxes on Roth conversions once your RMD is satisfied, or direct them to charity through qualified charitable distributions, which satisfies your RMD and again, avoids taxable income. When every RMD dollar has a defined job, spending, reinvesting, or giving, the sense of forced withdrawal disappears. You gain predictability, purpose, and added peace of mind. And when you've coordinated your taxes and expenses, the next step is to organize those ideas into an annual system. At this point, you've seen how each part fits together. Understanding RMDs as timing rules, reducing their size through Roth conversions, managing your tax brackets, and coordinating your withdrawals with your lifestyle. Now, it's time to connect those ideas into a single repeatable framework, one that we call the RMD optimization cycle, which is part of our overall 365 retirement planning process. It's built on 3 recurring steps: assess, coordinate, and recalibrate. First, assess. Each year, review your account balances, expected RMDs, and total income. Compare that income to your portfolio income needs to see whether you're withdrawing too much, too little, or just enough. Then, coordinate. Align your income sources so they work together, not against each other. Pair RMDs with Social Security and taxable withdrawals to smooth income. Use Roth conversions or QCDs to manage taxes and time larger withdrawals around major expenses. And then recalibrate. Life and markets change, so revisit your plan every year. Ask yourself, which framework am I in now? Shortfall, strengthen, or sharpen? If you're short on income, you might want to focus on closing that gap. If your income is stable but not optimized, you want to strengthen your plan through the methods that we just mentioned. If your plan is solid, you can sharpen it through those advanced strategies or estate planning techniques. According to T. Rowe Price, retirees who maintain a written income plan experience a 35% less income-related stress and are twice as likely to describe themselves as financially confident. This framework turns reaction into repetition. It's a simple process that you can rely on each year. It transforms uncertainty into clarity, and it gives you that confidence that your plan is always moving forward. And once the framework is in place, that final step is implementation, making sure that it stays current, consistent, and coordinated. Understanding RMD strategy is one thing. Putting it into practice is what makes the difference, right? Your RMD plan only works if it's reviewed, updated, and acted on consistently. That means creating a yearly rhythm, a process that keeps your taxes, income, and distributions aligned. Here's how we do it. Step 1, review your PIN and income sources annually. Update your portfolio income needs every year as your spending, income, or inflation assumptions change. Then, compare your guaranteed income and expected RMDs to that number. Are your withdrawals still matching your goals? Step 2, run a pre-year-end tax projection. Before you take your full RMD, estimate your total income for the year. Many custodians or tax professionals can help you model how different withdrawal amounts affect your tax bracket, Social Security taxation, and Medicare premiums. And step 3, schedule a strategy checkup each fall. Ask yourself, has my income or spending changed? Are there Roth conversion opportunities before year end? Should I use a QCD or rebalance my portfolio to prepare for next year's withdrawals? According to JP Morgan's 2024 Guide for Retirement, retirees who revisit their income plan annually are 40% more likely to maintain their desired spending level through age 90. And Fidelity found that retirees who plan withdrawals proactively pay 10 to 15% less in lifetime taxes simply by controlling timing. The goal here isn't perfection, it's progress. When you review your PIN, project your taxes, and adjust each year, RMDs stop being a source of anxiety and become part of your ongoing financial rhythm. And now that you understand why retirees stop panicking about RMDs when they learn how to plan around them, you can turn those required withdrawals into one of the most strategic tools in your retirement plan. If you're nearing retirement and you want help aligning your income, taxes, and lifestyle goals, click the link below to schedule a call to learn more about the 365 retirement plan process. We'll analyze your situation, estimate your RMD impact, and help you build a plan that is designed to work every day of the year so you don't have to. Until next time, take care.